Hello everybody, Max here. Today, we are watching the worst internet gun fails number 4 of the Darwin Awards. Alright, Brandon Herrera, we have been... Oh, how am I not subscribed yet? We are going to be watching a whole bunch more of this here. We are up to number 4 on the scale, and so far we have seen a lot of Tannerite mistakes, a lot of Middle Eastern weddings, maybe we'll get back to Russia on this one, perhaps. But who knows what's going to happen now? There is a lot of internet fails going on with these guns, from officers to Middle East. Honestly, I'm surprised there's no redneck weddings on this one here, coming from a redneck myself. Let's go ahead and get this started here. I'm going to leave a link to the original in the description. If you enjoy, please do leave a like. If you have anything you want to comment or send a reaction towards me, please do comment those. And please do subscribe to follow along more in the future and help build my community. We're close to 50, and I will shave my beard when I do. Let's go, Brandon, take it away.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're not supposed to do that. What is
Oh, that's one way of starting that off. Jesus.
up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? It is in fact time to do another episode of the Darwin Awards. Now, as we said before on the channel, guns are awesome. Idiots are not. When those two things come together, some not cool stuff happens, and sometimes that means somebody wins a Darwin Award. Darwin Award meaning you have been removed from the gene pool.
Yeah,
now, the Darwin Awards is usually an opportunity for us to talk about gun safety and where certain people went wrong with things. Today we got some cool stuff on. I've got some stuff on catastrophic malfunctions. Super cool. Can't wait.
Oh dear. Okay, that is definitely... I wonder if Kentucky Ballistics will be on here. Actually, I think this video might be older than that.
Wait to get into it. But first we have a couple of clips that are probably more in line with what you would come to expect from a video like this one. So let's dive right in. All right, so this first video we have on the lineup is Polish soldier gets hat shot off.
I don't like the sound of that description.
Let's give her a crack. Training for some ceremonial thing, clearly. Nice little Polish AK underfold.
Also, don't mess with Poland. Poland is like one of the most well-equipped groups in the world right now, because they just buy up so dang much. Poland have gotten tired of being waffle stomped by everybody during the World Wars. They are ready to bite back if anyone ever tries something on them.
There's two.
No salve honorowej! Siema! Ładoń!
Ooh, I hope these are blanks.
Pal!
Good on the other guy, though, for not even flinching from that.
What a lad, though, continuing like nothing just fucking happened. See, they got a slow-mo here.
Is my head still on? Okay, cool. Back to it. Jesus.
Polish people are just fucking built different. People are talking about, oh my god, this guy got so lucky. Like, that bullet must have just barely tipped the hat and kept going. I don't think he would have really gotten lucky, because if you look over here... There's not a lot of recoil there. I think these are just blanks, especially if you're doing
I would hope they would be blanks if they're just doing the ceremonial stuff.
ceremonial shit. You're not actually just shooting up in the air with, 30 dudes in a field. Typically not a good idea. So the angles of those rifles, I'm thinking there's a pretty good chance that if...
I mean, during my father's service, they ended up using... I gave him like a 3-gun, 30-gun salute thing. I don't remember the thing. But they did a gun salute thing, and they had blanks for their shots. And so yeah, I would imagine that this is... You don't want bullets coming right down on top of you in the middle of training, so I don't think that these are real bullets being used right now.
There were a live round in there, he would have just painted the field with his comrade there. Jesus. Thankfully, though, it did look like they were blank, so you didn't turn this military parade into a military funeral. The next couple of
That also could be another reason why he barely even flinches. Like, shoot! But yeah, no, I don't... Yeah, no, I think they knew.
Videos I've got coming up are something you actually can learn something from. Now, most of you experienced shooters know this, and you know exactly how dangerous it can be when somebody doesn't. Brass. Brass, once it's fired, is pretty hot. Most rifles kick the brass out and away from the shooter pretty decently, but handguns can be...
As a left-handed person, I can tell you that is not always the case.
A little sporadic sometimes. It's not uncommon for, a new shooter to be shooting, or even an experienced shooter, to be shooting a gun and then have brass go down their neck, or for ladies, you get the picture. It will burn the shit out of you, but It's relatively minor, however, you still have a live weapon in your hand. This is where shit can get a little tricky.
Sky team obtained this video showing an accidental shooting at a shooting range in Geauga County Wednesday evening around 6:30.
I am shocked that guy's still alive. Holy crap!
That is an instance of somebody handling it very poorly. Let's see that again.
The Fox 8i team obtained this video showing an accidental shooting at a shooting range in Geauga County Wednesday evening around 6:30.
Jesus Christ.
I know he's caught off guard by the hot brass here, but he's making two big critical safety errors because one, he's got his finger still on the trigger, which is how he was able to squeeze off another round, and two, he's, pay attention to what you're pointing at. Never point a gun at another human being. That's, basic gun safety for like a gun range. Definitely don't point it at yourself. Pro tip. I read more about his injuries. I think he went through one side of his cheek and out the other side.
Oh, damn, the devil's piercing, right? That is.
This dude straight up Tyler Durden'd himself. It sucks. It's a shitty situation. I'm glad he's okay, and I hope it's a valuable lesson, and it's a lesson for everybody, without having to go through the same shit that he did. Up next, what you know about RPGs.
They're fun games.
Now, we've talked about RPGs before in the Darwin Awards, but we got another one to look at today. We have what appears to be a soldier or militiaman of unknown origin to me, demonstrating the safety features on a loaded RPG-7.
Oh, don't do that. Like, I can understand if it has a safety cap on it, but Jesus, no. Don't tempt the fate.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're not supposed to do that.
There's a difference between very confident and very, very, very stupid.
I mean, clearly you can, because he's doing it, but man, I don't really have that much faith in Russian safety features. I guess what he's trying to show off here is that
Or it could also be a Russian-made one, so that's a dud.
that there's a safety cap on top of the RPG rockets, that the rocket isn't technically live and can explode until you remove that cap from it. Luckily, nothing bad happened to this gentleman, but, rockets and explosives are something I just don't fuck around with.
Wait a minute, I just lit a rocket. Rockets explode!
Well, yeah. Even still, you best believe if I find rockets for that thing, I'm not going to be doing this shit with it.
No,
There is no time delay on this. This one's a dummy, but real rockets, there's no time delay. If you were to take the safety cap off and go...
Why do I get the feeling this was a made movie and not actually really happened?
Next up, we got a couple of videos of some catastrophic malfunctions. We're going to go over that, but first, these videos tend to get either struck, demonetized, or both, so it's time to thank our sponsor, first of all, for, making this video happen. Sponsor of this video is Jake's Mint Chew. Jake's Mint Chew is a tobacco...
Alright, that's an ad thing. It's an old ad, so we'll go ahead and give that a little bit of skippy there, because I don't... And plus, I don't even do chew. Or... Let's see if it's...
gun people, all the benefits of things like CBD. Malfunctions. Now that I say it out loud, not really fun at all, especially for the people involved. Catastrophic malfunction is when the gun fails, but not a normal failure, like a failure to extract, or a failure to cycle.
Hence the word catastrophic!
It's when it fails in a way that basically blows up the gun. Now, in previous episodes of the Darwin Awards, we've covered a couple of these, like the famous tainted ammunition detonating the AK.
Oh man, that was impressive.
Leveling out the playing field, this first video is for a full auto AR-15.
Oh damn!
Oh, shit.
Jeez!
Now, there's a couple ways this could have happened. Could have been the infamous 300 blackout sneaking into a 5.56 AR magazine. It could have been something completely different, but what is for sure is that upper went bye-bye. This guy's extremely lucky he was firing this from the hip and not putting that up to his face, because that might have been a much worse day. As we can see from the slow-mo here, that AR upper completely just
that sight just went out of there. Jesus!
detonates, goes every which direction. Goodbye to that EO tag. Oh, there it is. This is why you don't let Canadians fire your weapons. That's a joke, Canada. I love you. I don't love your gun laws or your politicians for the most part, but
or your curling tactics.
You guys seem pretty cool. So that was an instance of a catastrophic malfunction that did not result in the injury of the shooter. That's fantastic. This next one we're going to show you, I know you've seen before, but we're going to come at it from a slightly different angle. This next video is probably now one of the internet's most famous catastrophic malfunctions.
I'm guessing this is the Kentucky Ballistics one?
It's my buddy Scott with his RN50 detonating on him a couple months ago.
Oh man, this was hard to watch. Oh, Jesus. Video better quality than the one we watched directly from his channel. Damn.
So anybody who's seen Scott's video knows the extent of his injuries, and he's lucky to be alive. And
this
he's
could have been
thankful
really
to be
bad,
alive
yeah.
as well. Fractured orbital bone, pierced lung, pierced jugular. The guy.
Bigger the gun, bigger the fail, bigger the wounds.
Oh, man, I'm just happy he's still around. But let's see what we can learn from this particular accident. The sad part is, not a whole lot. You see, I can't actually point out anything that Scott did that was incorrect. He's following all the safety rules. He's using a weapon that he's fired multiple times before, shooting in a safe manner from a rest, shooting ammunition that he's been shooting all day. So he has no reason to think that this next round is going to be any different.
And it wasn't until later on they eventually found out, hey, this ammo is hot. It be cooking. And way overcharged, and that's what really did it. So, and, you know, let me know in the comments, is there really any way to know if that kind of ammo is supercharged or packed up wrong? The only thing I could think of is maybe taking like a micro level scale or something to be able to weigh it, maybe. But other than that, I have no idea any other way if it's a different kind of material or something. Not
yet, he's still the victim of a catastrophic malfunction. What he is lucky to have had is medical training due to his law enforcement background and his father there on site. Otherwise, he may not have been with us here today. So what really is the teachable moment here? Unfortunately, this is just something that comes with bolt actions or single shots, especially in this case. If something goes terribly wrong, especially on a 50 BMG, a single shot 50 BMG, even if you've done everything right in building that gun, you know, Murphy's Law, something happens, there is nowhere for that energy to go but into the shooter. On a semi-auto, you have an entire receiver.
I suppose the only real thing that we can be learning from this is be prepared. If something bad does happen, be ready to just go. Get to the hospital as fast as you can. Had no medical treatment stuff. Just try to be able to keep it going as long as you possibly can. That's really the only thing you could kind of take from this. Every little bit of training helps.
And a big ass spring that is meant to catch the bolt carrier group. It stays in that track. You know, it like the one that we saw of the catastrophic malfunction on the AR-15. The bolt carrier group was still stuck where it would have been had the upper still been there. The receiver caught the majority of the force, where there really isn't anything to catch the force here on these bolt guns. And I'm not saying that single shot weapons are necessarily bad either. I'm saying this is just something that you got to keep in mind. So even though you could be like Scott here and do literally everything right, shit still happens.
I mean, every single bullet is technically just a directional force bomb. And if it's a little overpacked, that bomb go boom.
The real thing to keep in mind is just be ready for the shit, because the shit is coming. That didn't come out right.
Yeah.
This next video actually deals with
Neither did the shit.
kind of the same premise, but this time not in a 50 BMG, but instead a 7.62x54R Mosin Nagant.
In this video, you see him struggling with a stiff action. Then the unexpected happened.
Check the chamber, make sure the headspace and timing was correct and nothing was messed up. Put the 6th round in, lined up my shot, pulled the trigger.
Ooh.
Action exploded.
Even though we have a much smaller caliber, that still looks pretty serious. I think the backstory on this one is this guy was actually a gunsmith, which is why he had the tools to, check, headspace and gauges and everything like that to make sure that it wasn't actually the rifle's fault. As far as the sticky action goes, that's kind of just a lot of Mosins. Unfortunately, it does look like he
Look
caught
at them freaking sparks out of that. Jesus.
a good bit of shrapnel there. You see, it looks like his stock came apart. That's fucking wild.
Oh my
Up
god.
here you see a lot of shrapnel from where it went straight up and it
Dang.
went outwards. Caught some in my
dang.
face, obviously.
I Pro. Always be wearing that eye pro, because that just might save your eyes. Jesus.
I love the action figure
Cheek
therapy
was swelled
t-shirt.
up pretty good. I just got up. Luckily, I was wearing my safety gear.
Another fine example of why eye pro is important. Having some form of eye pro is probably the reason why both this gentleman here and Scott can still see today. That's another.
Especially with Scott, because he had the eye pro on, and it just shattered the eye pro on his face. And he lost sight for a good while there, but thanks to the eye pro, he was able to at least get it to come back. Always wear protection, folks.
Prime example. Mosins are they're not as bad because they do have, you know, the charging handle there, and they've got a little bit more of a track to the bolt versus just a single shot like the RN50. It has a little bit more that captures the bolt if there was a catastrophic malfunction, but it's still not awesome when it happens. Now, he did also mention that he was shooting his own reloads.
You know, this might be a bit of a stupid idea because I know it would add weight, but maybe there could be like a safety cage that could be added to guns that you could maybe like. I know that like a lot of F1 race cars recently got like this thing called a halo that was added that seems to do pretty darn good well and crashes and things and stays pretty darn put together even when the car is getting completely crumpled. But maybe could be some sort of device that attaches to the main points that not so much that it stops the gun from collapsing, but at least protects the user a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe someone could think about that.
Which definitely could have been the problem. Not saying definitively that it was. I have no idea this gentleman's level of expertise, but that's a pretty big variable. Or it could have just been another example of Murphy's Law. But at least it was 7.62x54R and not something bigger like 50 BMG, because when that happens on a bolt gun, it's, like said, never good. And the next gentleman learned that the hard way.
Oh boy, I think we're gonna get that Darwin Award, aren't we?
This video I'm about to show you has actually been circulating around the internet for a couple years now, and was the go-to example for what happens when a 50 BMG goes sideways.
Uh-oh.
Already you know it's gonna be a fucking crazy video. You got live leak up there on the top left.
Ooh, Life Leak. You know, I never really watched Life Leak stuff, but I keep hearing that they can get really bad.
I think it's his first round out of this new gun.
Oh!
I'm going to spare you the rest of the audio. You can find this on YouTube if you so desire. So the backstory here is this gentleman was out at...
It wasn't a very great view, so I can't really see what happened. All I know is like the back part was like gone, so I don't know, maybe it shot into him or something, but kind of like what happened with Scott's video. Everything just boom, pow, touched him, but I think the whole back part came off, not just those little bunny ear parts that slid right through Scott before, but yeah, this one's bad.
Range shooting his new bolt action 50 BMG from, I think, Vulcan Arms. Notoriously shit rifles.
Ooh.
And this guy, unfortunately, learned the hard way as to why. Thankfully, this gentleman did live, although he had to immediately be rushed to the hospital.
Jesus.
What apparently happened here
I'm glad to hear he lived, though.
was the bolt, after it, detonated and freed itself, free willy of the locking lugs, went directly into the shooter's neck.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, if I ever start shooting with bolt action stuff ever, I'm wearing some sort of a neck guard or something now, because I'm starting to learn maybe a little bit of protection around the neck might be a little necessary, considering how close our necks are to the right on angle to where those where the barrel really would go back towards if an explosion happened.
Which is a big fucking problem. Again, like said, when bolt guns and single shots fail, it's not really good, especially when you're dealing with a huge caliber like that. That's why, and something that I can attest to as far as designing the AK-50, you have to be very careful about the amount of lug contact that you have, the materials that you're using, the hardness spec, the heat treat, everything. It all has to work together, or else you are shooting a bomb. Thankfully, like I said, the AK-50 is semi-auto, so there's an entire receiver there, recoil spring and everything that is meant to slow down and catch that before it gets to where the shooter is. So the semi-autos, like I guess the up-and-coming AK-50, the Serbu BFG-50A, the Barrett M82 and M107, those are all a lot safer just by being a semi-auto, but that round still is no fucking joke. I guess summing all that up with the catastrophic malfunctions, I am not railing against bolt guns or single-shot guns. I own a couple. What I am saying is you've got to keep this stuff in mind, which means you have to have a lot of faith in both the manufacturer of the rifle that you're shooting and the ammunition and where you got it from. Otherwise, you might end up being the accidental recipient of a Darwin Award. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was at least a little educational for you. If videos like this can stop at least one person out there from taking that very uncool trip to the hospital or worse, then I consider this all worth it. Anyhow, thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. Remember, if you're not seeing 2 videos from us every week, go ahead and check the channel and make sure that you're not missing our uploads. A lot of you guys saying you're not getting notifications, so not to worry, we normally upload either like Monday, Tuesday, or like Thursday, Friday. Got a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipes for you that I think you guys are gonna like. Anyways, that's all we got for today, and as always, I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
This video I'm about to show you has actually been circulating.
Oh my god. Okay. I definitely enjoy watching this stuff. And they're so goddamn educational. Really, there are so many situations that if maybe there might have been a few people who have been on the show. If they've seen it, maybe they've been in a better situation one day. But they really are informative stuff. And yeah, when it comes to catastrophic gun fails and the actual ammo popping on you, there's not really much you can do but learn how to take care of yourself when that kind of thing actually happens. But ooh, thank you very much, Brandon, for that video, and I thank you very much for watching it with me. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you have anything you'd like me to react towards, please do leave a comment with anything on that, or anything you'd like to give me some advice on. And also, please do subscribe to help me build up my community here and follow along more in the future. I thank you very much for watching again. Live life to the max, and I'm out!